Hello, good morning or evening, whatever it is. How are you? Good. Well, after yoga you'll be feeling wonderful. So we're going to start off in the constructive rest position, lying on your mat with your feet on the mat. Have head support if you need it. And you will need a chair, so you might want to get that ready before you lie down. I was laughing at myself this morning because I put some cologne on, and it's not for John because he's got a terrible sense of smell, but it made me feel normal. So I hope we're ready to lie down, and just close your eyes just for a moment. Just breathing. Constructive rest, it means useful and helpful. You're resting, relaxing, not doing, letting go. So can you just focus on your breath through the tip of your nose? Feeling how it's cool and dry as you breathe in, and becomes warm and moist as you breathe out. Just breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. So just focus on in your body, what's happening, how you're feeling, which parts of your body are in contact with the earth, and how that feels. So the feet are hip width apart. You might need to move them maybe away from you or towards you, because your tummy and back should be in neutral. Letting go there. And we will be working on hips today, happy hips. So you should feel contact with the back, the lower areas of your back and your bottom. Let the hips sink down into the mat. And just take 6 deeper breaths. Breathing in, feel the lungs expanding as you breathe in. And your body will tell you when to breathe out, but you just imagine a 1 heartbeat and then exhaling. Letting go, letting go, letting go. All the breath completely gone. Your body will tell you when to breathe in again. So 1 heartbeat in between breaths and inhaling again. So in your own time, another 5 times now. Just breathing in and breathing out. Are you letting go into the mat, letting it take your weight? Make sure your chin's not lifted, shoulders and arms relaxed. Feel the movement of your diaphragm. It can be quite a big movement. The lungs expand not only forward but out to the sides of the back. Just feel what happens. Start to walk your feet in, bend your knees into your chest, roll onto the right side. Come up to sitting with your legs crossed. Lifting the spine. Trying to bring your feet forward underneath your knees, placing a block under your bottom already. Lifting the spine, again heavily around the hips. And with the hips, it's not only the movement of the hips with the ball and socket joint, but obviously a lot of time we want stability of the hips as well. So just being aware of that. Lengthening the spine. And then a couple of rounds of sun salute. So coming up, coming to the front of your mat. In a good Tadasana and then Namaste. I hope I'm in a good position. Tom? Yeah, and breathe in, stretch up and back. Breathing out, fingers in line with toes, head down. Breathe in, bring the right foot back, knee down, look up. Retain into plank. Breathing out, knees, chest, forehead down. Breathing into cobra, out into dog. Breathe in, step forward right. Breathe out left. Breathe in, stretch up and back. And into Namaste. And those who are doing cat pose, instead, please go on with that. Breathe in, stretch up and back. Breathing out, fingers in line with toes, head down. Breathe in, bring the left foot back. Knee down, look up. Retain into plank. Breathing out, knees, chest, forehead down. Smoothly into cobra. Down into dog. Breathe in, step forward left. Breathe out right. Breathe in, stretch up and back. Hands into Namaste. Breathe in, stretch up and back. Breathing out, fingers in line with toes, head down. Breathe in, bring the right foot back. Knee down, look up. Retain into plank. Breathing out, knees, chest, forehead down. Breathe in into cobra. Out into dog. Breathe in, step forward right. Breathe out left. Breathe in, stretch up and back. Hands into Namaste. Breathing, stretch up and back, a little bit higher and back. Breathing out, fingers in line with toes, head down. Breathe in, bring the left foot back. Knee down, look up. Retain into plank. Breathing out, knees, chest, forehead down. Breathing into cobra. Out into dog. Breathe in, step forward left. Breathe out right. Breathe in, stretch up and back. Hands into Namaste. Good Tadasana. Get your breath back. Okay. And down into your normal dog pose now, onto all fours. And into normal dog pose, tucking your toes under. Breathe in. As you breathe out, suck the tummy in, lift high as you can, up on tiptoe. Lift, lift, lift. Breathe. Can you get any higher? Now, imagine you're being held up by a pulley, by your hips. Try and stay there as much as you can, as high as you can. Start to bring the heels down. Don't worry if they don't reach the mat. Bring the heels down, bring your weight back. Try and be even on hands and legs. Breathing in, breathing out. Move your shoulders away from your ears. Turn the inner arms up so shoulders are wide. Breathe another 3 breaths like that. And then come down into child. Toes together, knees apart. Keep the arms stretched forward for now. Press the, just put the forehead down. And bring the knees wider. Wider, wider, wider. So you can sink down a little bit more into the hips. Then come up onto all fours. Now I want you to stretch the right leg out to the side. And try and get the outer side of the foot down and hold it there. This is starting to give you a hip release. So you should be on the 4 corners of the feet here. Hands under your shoulders and out to the side there. Breathe, extend, and lift the outer side of your foot down. Go back to all fours. Stretch the left leg out to the side, not back here, out to the side as much as you can. Then start to bring the whole of the foot down, so the outer corners of the feet, So you're on the four corners of that foot. You can spread the hands while you're there as well, nicely on the mat. And is that foot really down well, and you're getting a nice opening on the hip. Come back to all fours, normal child, toes together, knees apart, bring your head down, and you might need something to put your head on, you might need something under your bottom if your bottom's not down. Backs of your hands by your feet, and just hold it there, breathing. And then breathe in and come up. Come up to standing. We're going to do warrior two. So quite nice and wide on your mat. Feet facing forward, so line up the sides of the feet with the sides, short ends of the mat. And lifting, lifting the rest of the body up. Hands on there, nice stable hips. Turn the left toes in a little bit, right toes out. Now, keep the hips to the front a minute and just bend the knee. So there's a good angle here. It can be a bit less of an angle, but not over the foot, of course. And we're trying to keep the body centered and the heel in line with the instep. So we're not going over to the right. So when you've got all that sorted out, you can have a good look. Stretch the arms. Open. That's the tummy working. Are you even with the arms? Are you stretching both ways, not just to the right at all? Look over to the left, so that'll help you keep that way. Then the full posture is looking over at the right hand. You're one warrior, and we are strong. Breathe. Make sure that knee has a does it come forward. That's what it always wants to do. Breathe in and come up. If you're feeling energetic today, you can keep your arms up. If not, bring them down. Turn the right foot in, left foot out. Hips to the front. You might want to just breathe in, breathing out. Bend the left knee. Try not to go over to the left. Now heel in line with the instep. Shoulders down. Let's look at the arms. Let's look at the knee. Let's go back a ways. And pulling over to the right a little bit. Stop you going to the left too much. Then turning to the left. Looking across at the arm. Feeling strong. Breathing. Keep the tummy working in and up a little bit. So all this is lifting. Come back to centre. Bring the toes in. Just have a little wiggle out. And we're not doing many standing postures today. We're going to do stuff on the mat in a minute. So we're going to do Loretta, Tadasana, wide leg forward bend. So feet facing forward, nice and wide, nice open, hips here, but in there though. Tail down, tummy up. Okay, we're going to go forward, so take a block. Let's just stretch up first to get a nice stretch. So have the block width space and hold the corners. Lift up, shoulders down. Good. So this should be very strong and stable, this position. Okay. So we're going to hinge forward. Let's just go halfway. So try and keep everything in line. Breathe in, breathing out. You're hinging from the hip crease here. Breathe in, breathing out. So it's got to work, hasn't it? And we're now facing the mat. It's strong on the arms, isn't it? Bring the arms down now. Have the block long ways and start to walk forward with it. But keeping your bottom back. You can always line yourself up with the heels on the back of the mat and lining your bottom up that way. And start to edge forward. Keeping the bottom back. lengthening, lengthening. Look up a little, so you get a lovely lengthening of the spine. That's always good to do. Now, if you can go down a bit further and keep the length, and do so. If you know you can put the fingertips there, look up and do that. If you can go a bit further and go back and bring the hands under your shoulders, do that. So we're all going to be doing different things possibly. Fingertips look up. Bring the hands down if you can. If you can walk back any further, bring your hands towards the back of the mat. Maybe the head might go down a little bit, I don't know. Walk the hands back, legs working, shoulders released. Take a couple of breaths. And start to bring the hands forward, forward, forward again. Fingertips or a block, whichever you're using. Look up. Now, can you come up with a straight back? Hands on your hips. Strong legs, breathe in and come up. Oh, and then bring the feet in. Feet onto your hips. Oh. A little wiggle. The chair you'll need to turn this way with the back facing me, because we're going to do in a minute half moon. And we'll just do a chair dog pose at the moment. So walking back, 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 hands on the chair, with feet facing forward and extending. And then as you breathe out, moving your hips back. Make sure your ears are in line with your arms, the head's not dropped right there. And we'll lift up, head is comfortable, neck is comfortable. And lovely, lovely stretch. So nice to have a stretch. Do have a stretch in bed before you get up. It's wonderful. And then breathe in. Come up. Right. Talking about the hips. Now, this chair is so that... Now, if you've got a wall behind you, you've seen this before, and it's so lovely to do half moon against the wall. So do move to a wall. With your back to the wall. Now, if you haven't, and you have a stable chair, then do use a chair. So, we're going to have a block about, I did do this earlier on. So we're going to turn the left toes in and right toes out. So first of all, we're going to go into Trikonasana, so be careful, you're just a bit in front of that chair at the moment. So we're going to go into Trikonasana. Onto the chair and just bringing the arm up and over. That's a different version of Trikonasana. Bend the knee in, then you hop, 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 how much with one foot. You can see how not to do it in a minute. So you're against the chair here for balance. Then you lift this leg, stretch the heel, the knee facing forwards, and then you can lift the arm up. So, half moon, big smile. And come out, dip down, and come up. And then we're going to go the other way. So turning around. You might want to turn the chair around, or you don't have to see me. You can do it anyway. So, wide, turn left toes in, right toes out. Into sort of Trikonasana, holding the chair, arm over. And then going to, I'm just holding the back of the chair now, because it's the way around. So your body should be against the chair. And up. But you should have your chair around, you should have turned your chair around. make sure you're stable, or if you've got the wall, well, that's wonderful. I haven't got a wall up in here. And then carefully up. That's always nice. So, how's the time going?
20 minutes.
20 minutes. Okay. So we're going to sit on the mat now. Just sit the legs crossed again and crossing the other way. Okay. So crossing the other way and sitting up. Yep. Is it off? From here we're going to put our feet on the mat. We're going to, and hands behind. So we're going to do a little rock side to side. Just rolling around. It's nice to ease the hips and its part and going over a little bit more. Keep the tummy under control. And it's like a little massage. Bring the both hands over just one at a time. They're all under control and a nice rock. I'm feeling a bit funny. Nice rock. Okay, so once more side to side, and then coming towards the back of the mat and bringing the legs wide. So I'm going to do the wide leg sitting from the end. First of all, we're going to go forward. You might need a block. No, it's quite nice to press down on a block this widthways, I think. Pressing down to lift up. So down from here, hip raise, legs working, stretch the heels away, toes towards you. Did you notice my bluebells and lily of the valley from the garden? And sit up. So this should help you sit up. The shoulders down, bend the elbows a little. Then you can start a little walk forward with your block. But only as far as your hips are going to let you. Because if it gets awkward, then you're going to start dropping here rather than keeping all this up. So see how far you can come forward, stretch the heels away, toes in towards you. If you can fingertips, then do so, but the block is really good, it keeps you up. Look up, smile at me. Then you come a little bit forward. Keeping all this working. Chest up, because we're going to work into one of my favourites. What about you? Pigeon. So if you can come forward more without collapsing, keeping all this long collarbone up. Have a little glance up and smile now and again. I can imagine you doing that. So we don't have to go mad. Alright, some of us might get down a bit further, but the main thing is the stretch and keep the hips working. Keep that working. Okay, and then walking back. Come up. So we're going to start to turn to the side. Sometimes I find I need to go slightly less wide. So you're going to breathe in and lift up, lengthen. Breathe out, turn to your right leg. Bring your fingertips down either side of your right thigh and see if you can turn your body. The hips are stable here. Turning from the tummy and shoulders and everything to face the right leg. Okay. Now you can start to come forward. What we're going to try is use a bit of imagination about this left leg. Now imagine it's still straight, but you can let it go here as you breathe out. And then as you come forward a little bit more, you don't have to go right down over the leg, but to try and stay in line. Now imagine that leg is a log and it's going to drift off down a stream that's there. So you can, if you let go here, then it helps you turn there somehow. So you've got to close your eyes a minute, use your imagination. Imagine that leg is a log that's detaching and just floating away from you. The hips are still stable. You might find, so just get, you might want to go a little bit more forward, but without straining. It's because you've let go here. Breathe out. I mean, I'm here, I'm going down, but I'm not really doing too much. I can feel it more on this leg here, obviously, but not. But stopping before I'm going sort of too far. And then start to walk back and come up. Oh. And then you've got to get yourself even again, haven't you? Oh, this was a bit odd. And you just do one side. Breathe in and stretch up. Work the legs a little more. Heels away, toes up. The knees are facing the ceiling. Breathe in and lift. Breathe out and turn. Stable hips there. Turning from the tummy. And bring your fingertips either side of your thigh and try and turn so that you're facing that left leg with your mid-chest as much as you can. It's quite a little bit of work to get around there, isn't it? Then start to edge forward. Now, you might just get here and that's enough for you for now. If you feel comfortable, you can keep going a bit more, keep turning. Now, if you bring your hands down, that's fine, but if you're comfortable. And you're going to release the shoulders as well, and all this here, having you now. This leg, so it's straight like a log, but you're letting go in this right hip crease now. So breathing in, breathing out. Imagine that log letting go, detaching here, and rolling away from you. So send the exhalation there, letting go. Oh, it's really nice. I can go down a bit more. Yes, a little bit more work on the legs. And so be careful. Breathing in, breathing out. And you detach any more. So focus on the other leg. And see what you can do. Long start to work back. And those legs, heavy now. And release. Dust now. You can use a belt if you like, and straighten out in front of you and sit up from there. Good. And just hold it there, breathing for a moment. Sitting up. And then you're going to bend the left knee, bring it behind a little bit, then bring the right knee, and so that you're in this sort of angle of the legs. And you're in a sort of bent pigeon position. Just one behind and one in front. Start to turn a little bit towards the in front. And then change. So your feet on the mat. Bring the right one bent a little bit behind, left one back in front. Organise the hips a bit, and then start to turn towards the bent knee a little bit, keeping the other one back. Up, so you start to get this open here, and then bring this back, and then we're going to lie down and thread the needle. Just that's a bit wild.
10 minutes.
Okay, thanks. So I'm going to lie down Cross the right over the left. Lift up. Thread the arms through. Hold below the knee. Breathe in. Be that magnet towards you. Breathe. And down. And change left over right. Up. Lifting well. Thread through. Towards you. Breathing in, breathing out. Release. Okay, then pose but on all fours. Hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Bring the right knee to the left, right knee to the right wrist. Start to bring this foot forward and stretch this leg back. So you can have a leg. This shouldn't be like a bent foot or anything. Front of the foot down. See if you can turn your chest. Bring the knee away. It should be underneath there. Just do a little bit. Do what you can. This might be enough for some people. It's quite nice to stretch over that. Hold it there. Change, so all fours, bring the knee to the left knee to the left hand, stretch the leg back, bring the back forward, make sure it's straight back in front of the foot on the mat. Have a nice stretch forward. This variation is really nice. Breathe. Just forward a little bit. Up. Stretch both legs out again. Let your hands behind you. And get ready for Shavasana. So make sure you're warm enough. Have head support if you need it. And lying down on your mat. Closing your eyes. Start off in the position we started, stretching the legs out, arms out, shoulders and chin down. And just letting go of everything now. Feet, ankles, calves, knees, thighs, legs heavy, release your tummy. Hips, upper body, back fluid, shoulders, arms, hands, fingers, everything for letting go. Release your jaw, your tongue, your throat. All your facial muscles release. Let your eyes sink back. Release the corners of your eyes, each of your nose, your forehead to your brain. Any thoughts, just let them pass through. Come back to your soft. Feel that you're melting down into the mat like soft butter. Releasing, spreading, letting go. Melting, release. to come out of it. Now if you want to stay longer, then you can pause and stay longer. I'll finish off there. So I'm going to place one foot on the mat, the other foot on the mat. Bend your knees into your chest, roll over to the right side, all the way, knees up. Hold it there for a good breath. And then push and come up, sitting on a block. Lifting the spine. Legs crossed in a comfortable position. Now, in these times, we can know everything, which we don't, and we can still be unhappy even if we do. Knowledge is important, but it's not enough. Remember that your happiness lies deep within you, whether or not things on the surface are falling apart sometimes. As you go through your day, stop, take a breath, and remember this, especially during the challenging moments. And remember to smile. Open your eyes. Namaste.